Today I got 9 woodworking side hustles that you can do to make some side hustle cash that is not selling on Etsy. Let's get into it. First up is pantry and laundry room remodels. And if you're a little more daring and skillful, throw in closets there as well. This is actually a side hustle that I do. If you've watched my videos for a while, you know that Etsy's selling certain months. The sales got kind of low, so I formed a second business and started doing this on the side. It's been very lucrative. Why? Because in my neighborhood and my town, probably like yours, most people have these wire shelves in their house and everyone hates them. Everyone wants some nice wooden shelves in their pantry or their closet. Now this may seem daunting, but it's actually very easy. It's essentially just custom wooden shelving. If you're interested in a video on how I do it, please leave me a comment and I'll see about getting to that. I got some pictures here of some jobs I did. Now, like any business, you can always upsell yourself. And you can offer things like that I've done, spice racks that mount on the door, canned food dispensers that mount on the wall. People love this stuff. They love organization. And you can get as basic or advanced as you want. Like this thing here, which holds some of your larger appliances, rice cooker, air fryer, slow cooker. In the laundry room, you can offer shelving. You can offer things that hold the baskets. You can offer a folding table if you want, depending on their space. But that's what's so great about this, is you're customizing this per the space that your customer has. And you can offer a whole lot of different things. Number 2, dog gates and or child gates. These actually sell pretty well on Etsy, but I imagine because of the size of them, they are a pain to ship. And it's hard to customize these for certain openings that people need to cover, right? Because certain ones are wider than others, certain ones are at a weird angle. So if you offer custom work to come to a person's house, measure the area, decide on what type of gate is best for that situation or that area, you know, at the top of the stairs, bottom of the stairs, before the basement, maybe just keeping the dogs out of the kitchen area or the dining room area because my dog's always sitting right next to me waiting for scraps to fall. Sometimes it's a little annoying. Here's some pictures of some of the designs that I've seen online. They're all over the place, but offering something specific for your community could be a really nice side business. Garage shelving, garage organization, bin shelving is very popular. There's probably 1,000 videos on how to build this bin storage thing right here. I have a local guy that advertises this. You basically go to people's houses, determine what size they want or how many bins they want to hold, and you build this on site. No need to ask me to make a video. Like I said, there's about 1,000 of them here on YouTube where you can see how they build them. They are all very simple. And not just offering this bin storage unit, there are all sorts of implements you could build in the garage, shelving wise, for people to help them with their storage. And again, completely customizable to what your customer needs, wants, and the space they have available in their garage. Number 4, dog cages, dog houses, and we will throw in chicken coops. Because lately in my neighborhood, everyone is wanting to get chickens. We have larger lots where I live, so chickens are allowed. And of course, due to the egg prices the last couple of years, I think they're coming down now, thank God. But everyone's wanting to have their own chickens. Some people go to Tractor Supply to buy the coops they have there, but what if you did a business offering to make custom sized chicken scoops, chicken coops and chicken runs? There's all sorts of things you can include in this for customers, especially maybe you've been raising chickens yourselves so you know a little something about it. The dog cages have been popular for a long time. Again, these are things you probably don't want to ship because they're so large. So building them and trucking them over to their house would be a really good bet. Again, there's a bunch of videos here on YouTube of other creators to show you how to build these if you're interested. And as far as dog houses, to be honest, I really don't know many people that have dog houses anymore. I think most people keep their dogs inside. But if you're in an area where that is common, building custom dog houses could be a good business for you. If you're enjoying the content so far, please like and subscribe and help me grow my channel. I appreciate it. A quick thought here. I live in Florida, so it is very easy to form a business. It's sunbiz.org. I'm sure it's not too difficult wherever you live, but forming a little LLC is what you want to do. And then if you are working at people's houses, I highly recommend getting some sort of business insurance. My business insurance is $600 for the year. So personally, I don't think that's not bad at all. And that covers you from I think it's a couple $100,000 of coverage, so it covers you for most anything that might happen, but 99% of the time, nothing is. So don't worry about it too much, but just protect yourself. Now, one thing you may be asking yourself is if people want this sort of thing, why don't they just hire a carpenter or a handyman? Because either one could do this. I don't think people actually think that. And if they do, they're probably thinking it's gonna be way too expensive. Whereas you have a side business that is geared just towards this sort of thing, and it implies it in the name of your business, and you put it in your description that that's what you specialize in, people are more likely to contact you to see about a job. Now, saying that, maybe we should just put that out there that you're gonna have to do some customer service with this. You're gonna be talking directly with the customers. I know some people love selling on Etsy because they don't really have to deal with customers except through email. But if you're gonna step outside the online selling game, then this is something you're just gonna have to get used to, talking with customers in person, finding out exactly what they want. So obviously customer service skills or just a friendly and conversational disposition is all you really need to do this sort of work. You can easily market yourself on Facebook Marketplace, or I think every city has a word of mouth page for their city that allows you to advertise businesses. Put your pictures on there, put a description about what kind of work you do. There's also a website called Thumbtack. I'm not affiliated with them at all, but you can sign up there as a pro and you can put exactly what type of work you do. All right, let's get into where we at. Number 5, raised garden beds and bucket gardens. Bucket gardens are really popular. They're basically just made out of 2x4s. Here's a picture of one that I made. You throw the 5-gallon bucket in there, you drill some holes in the bottom for drainage, fill them with dirt, and you can grow all sorts of crops in there without having to have a dedicated garden. I do have a local guy or two I see on the marketplace that offers these services, but I do not see anyone that offers the garden beds. These also made out of 2x4s, and I make them with the corrugated steel. Again, everything's right angles. These are pretty easy to make, and there's about 1,000 videos on YouTube about how to do that already, so just look around. And of course, there's probably a dozen or two different ways to build these, so you could find a different one if you like. But there's a lot of people that are interested in gardening that probably don't have the skills to build these. Maybe they want something nicer that they can buy at Lowe's or off Amazon and would take advantage of the service you offered. And again, you could always upscale yourself. Hey, I can build a small fence, 4x4 posts and chicken wire to build actual little fenced off area for your garden if you wanted to keep the rabbits out. Number 6, swing sets, playhouses, and I built this rock wall that I think my kids have used 4 times in the last 8 years. But I'm sure there are kids out there that would really enjoy a rock wall. And again, very easy to build. 4x4s cemented into the ground just like a fence post. I used horizontal deck boards and then these rock wall pieces I got off of Amazon, and they're very easy to install. And of course, don't stop there. You can build all sorts of outdoor implements like that you would see in a playground, but maybe smaller. I think if you start getting things that get too high, to me, the trade-off with injury issues I wouldn't want to deal with, so just keep that in mind, be cognizant of that. But balance beams, of course I spoke about swing sets. I bought these metal implements and all you do is put 4x4s in them. That top beam is a 4x6, so I needed some help with that one. That was a bit heavy. And the other ones I think are 16-foot 4x4s. And you just cement those into the ground and set yourself up a swing set. Playhouses can get a little more complicated. Again, I would keep something level close to the ground. I've seen my neighbor built a monstrosity that sits about 10 feet off the ground. Again, when you start building stuff that big, you're running into permitting issues and stuff like that. So that may be way beyond the scope of doing a little side business. But building something on the ground, I think is very doable and probably something that a lot of parents would love. None of them had the woodworking skills to build it themselves. Number 8, wedding props. These are incredibly popular. And it has the advantage of the fact that you only need to build it one time, but the disadvantage is that you're gonna have to store it. So whether you wanna buy a storage unit or whatnot, you have to advertise yourself, but people do these champagne walls, these donut walls, all sorts of implements that people want for their wedding, but of course don't wanna build themselves and would just like to rent out for a couple of hours. And number 9, mailboxes. Look at these fancy mailboxes. Again, Probably a bunch of videos here on YouTube about how to do this. Maybe I'll do one. My son-in-law's been wanting one of these, so I thought I'd maybe build him one and videotape it for some content. But these look so much better than the standard mailboxes that most people have. And again, they probably wouldn't really go out seeking that, I would think, but maybe if they saw your advertisement about these mailboxes and saw some pictures of some of the jobs you did, they'd be like, hey, I'm gonna call this guy and get an estimate. And then you never know. Also, I think a pretty simple build. Let me know what you think in the comments and any other woodworking side hustles that you think would be good on this list for the benefit of some of the other viewers. There's a lot of opportunity out there to make money with woodworking without having to ship stuff and be on a site like Etsy or Facebook Marketplace, where, you know, a lot of things can be hit and miss. As I mentioned, whereas if you're, you know, hobby selling on Etsy, if you're going to people's houses, I would form an LLC. I would get some business insurance. And I think advertising on the Facebook word of mouth, Facebook Marketplace, and places like Thumbtack could really get you, is some really easy and cheap marketing that could get you some steady business. And again, you can probably take this as far as you want. You could offer all of these as part of your business if you wanted to, or just specialize in one. That is it for today. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe and check out my other content. We will see you later.